She my crypto queen. She knows the scene. Turning zeros into heroes, it's my digital dream. We check the charts. Those candles are green. Leverage it up, stacking it up. Now my back's obscene. Yes, I've done buy some meme coins. Got rug pulled once or twice. I spent too much money. Crypto took over my life. I must confess, monetary distress. I need more dry powder so I can stack up on these treasure chests. This bull run, we gon' live like kings. But for right now, it's going on a credit card. Oh no, no. Yeah, we about to make wife changing money. Been a game since 2018. We were scrubs, now we 18. Wrist loaded with the bling bling bling. Pulling more hoes than my boy Charlie Sheen. Got B&B at $4. Solana, $2. When P. Peg $1. We was po, now we the borrower. Wife changing money. Hey, drop that beat, dog. Wife, changing money, changing my
Welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming on in. Another One Pulse show. Live Pulsechain update with Larry and Taurus. And I'm your host, Taurus.
And I'm Larry.
And yeah, my headphones don't sound normal right now. I don't know what's going on.
I got the good ones.
Oh, well, you know what? There we go. There it is. I needed to turn them up. That was the problem. Cool. All right. There we go. Okay, good. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Ready for liftoff.
We've been ready. We've been ready for 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Woo. And it's finally here. It's been so long we can't even believe it's here.
Yeah,
but believe it. It's here.
It has been a while. I think you had mentioned that Richard now has been not on stream longer than he was streaming.
Yeah. That's pretty wild.
That is kind of wild to think about. And look at us. We're still thriving. Sort of, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Everything's fine.
Yeah. Flames in the background.
Flames
We're good.
in the background. Remain calm.
Everything is fine.
Yeah. And then all the drama.
Ooh.
I haven't even watched it.
Drama.
But I did watch Fast Abdul. He says he's in the thick of it. So
yeah, he's getting side drama.
Side drama.
From drama. You know, that from hanging around the drama, he's getting some drama.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Which,
that's what happens when things are down. Once we have green candles right now.
When things
so,
are down, claws are out.
Yeah. When you get 20% a day, you're not going to be thinking about Maddie or Fast Abdul or anybody or P.Dye. So
yeah, it's a shame that people want to, tarnish your name because you might be doing a stream with somebody else. It's like,
well, yeah, like the whole P.Dye thing, it created enemies and stuff. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. It did more than that. What's crazy is you had just one coin of many, many, many coins that are on Pulsechain.
They got scammed.
Like caused this much of a some waves.
It's unfortunate that this locked liquidity. It seems like it's a good idea, but then also it becomes a bad idea. So nothing's good, nothing's bad. It just is the way it is. And look, if you're in that stuff, you're going to lose money. And if you're tied to it, don't get into coins that have liquidity bonded to them that's locked for good.
And that's the way P.Dye works.
Yeah, well, I think Atropa had a whole bunch of liquidity that was locked. And so it was dragging everything in Atropa down. And then Atropa was pegged to, I guess, Pulse or something else was pulling everything down. But I mean, once it gets down to a certain level, it can only go so far, and then those people start losing money. But I'm not sure what happens when you have locked liquidity. Like, let's say it was locked with Pulse, and then Pulse goes up. It seems like there would be no more Pulse in that pool. So what happens is you have equal amount. And so if Atropa goes to 0, then Pulse ends up collecting a whole bunch of Pulse in that pair. So it just sucks out some Pulse, out of the system. And, I'm not sure how it's permanent, how it would hurt the price. Yeah. I mean, it's still there now. Like, we're going to always have that liquidity bonded there. It's over.
Well, I'm just curious how if you zoom out on that P.Dye chart, there's still, P.Dye's still up by a large amount.
Oh, yeah.
So, if they're exploiting it and taking all the liquidity out, then why is that price still staying? Is that many people buying it?
Yeah, I think a lot of people came in and bought more.
But I mean, but the person that's supposed to be exploiting is getting rid of hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of dollars at a time, right? When they do the extraction.
I don't know. I haven't seen the data on it.
Why? I haven't either.
I'm not really following it that much. I am following the price. And, I look at the purple Bitcoin thing because that's kind of interesting to me. But they don't have to go together. Purple Bitcoin and P.Dye, two separate things.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're too tied together.
I don't know. They kind of go up and down together. So Dye's up 9% and purple Bitcoin's up 10% right now.
Seems like everything's been going up and down together.
Yeah.
The only thing that maybe has been doing a little different is that UpX chart. That that one looks.
There's nothing better than that. I don't think.
It's still kind of increasing, where everything else kind of has gone down.
Icosa is up 15% today. That's interesting. That's like the most. I think I've got most of the core tokens in here. Inc is 10%. I'm not following all of them. With Finvesta, I know that's a new one that. I am following PTGC. I'm just not going to start following all the good coins. I don't know. Maybe I will later. But PTGC is up 8%.
Ooh, look at them green candles. That's what we like.
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
Yes. Finally.
Yeah.
2.5. I see a quarter.
Look, yeah, that's a quarter. Just close one eye and put your finger up there, and you cover the other zeros out of the way.
Yeah.
So
if it does
what?
a 10,000x, 10,000x, it will be at $2.50.
Let me scoot over here. So, did you hear the thing what Beirut had said? If it doesn't do a 1,000x by, I don't know, like July 2026, like sometime next year, I think in like a year, if it doesn't do a 1,000x to be, I think he said a nickel.
Okay.
If Pulse isn't a nickel,
That would be a 2,000x, I think, from here.
well,
So, oh, a nickel. No. I'm sorry.
yeah. Well, this was at a different price. This was,
And now it's not
was it a nickel?
0.
We can maybe go to his page in a little bit and see, but what he said was he's so confident.
A 2,000x is a nickel from here.
We'll go see if we can find his tweet that he said. But what it was, actually, somebody else tweeted it. He said it in one of his videos. And
Well, we don't have to worry about that. Pulse is going.
Well, what he said was, if it doesn't go do the 1,000x by next year, or in this time next year, that he was gonna end all of his social media stuff, everything, all of his subscribers, everything. He was gonna leave crypto, sell all of his bags, and get out.
Crypto, or that doesn't make sense. I mean, I could see leaving Pulse, but
Yeah, maybe it was Pulse, but I think too is like because he's got a lot of subscribers every month that pay him $10 a month.
Pulse is gonna do great. It's already up 9% today. Like, so I don't understand.
Yeah, well,
people
I mean,
fighting and worrying and stuff like that. Just meditate, chill, do something. Like
yeah, go outside and touch a
go
tree.
outside and touch a tree. It's gonna happen. We can't go up until the rest of the world stops burning. Like, there's got to be a little bit of. If everybody's over here, then what's going to happen is they're just going to cash out and go into stable coins. Like if we shot up a whole bunch and Bitcoin wasn't going up and Ethereum wasn't going up, we need everybody to come in and start playing and stuff. And that's when it's going to be really awesome.
Yeah.
But UpX, I think, is it's going to be interesting. So they have this thing called LPX, and you can see what it's done to the price. It's kept the price really steady, and I think it's gonna. Yeah, we can talk.
Yeah, we'll go in there. Yeah,
we'll go over there in a minute.
So we got the Pulse price up 9.82% on the 24-hour, coming in at 0.000025. Let's go. We'll go check the chart real quick because it looks like it's been getting a little pump. So.
Yeah. So Corey Gary says that was the bottom last week. So April Fool's Day, actually the day before.
So yeah, we got this nice little ladder right
check
up.
that green candle there.
This one?
No, the last.
This one.
Yeah, right there. So March 31st.
So April 1st was right here on this little guy. But that was, 4 days up there.
So it started April Fool's Day. That's funny. I mean, it kind of
see.
started March 31st, but
We haven't had 4 green candles. Here we go. It had been a little while. Back in mid-December.
December? No.
Yeah,
Really?
that was the last. Well, we had 4 on the daily.
4 on the daily. Wow.
Yeah, everything else is like 2 and 3.
Amazing.
So that's nice that we had 4. Little retrace here and then work on our way back up. But we were talking about this earlier. I was like, it's funny to say I'm excited that Pulse is in the 2s.
Yeah.
Because it feels much better than it does when it's in the 1s.
Yeah. That was a little scary. But yeah, like it can only go so far. Otherwise, it's just, you're getting it so cheap that, if you had any kind of money, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum or something like that, it just makes it or US dollars or something like that.
Look, you can hold the fiat dollar that's inflating and really worthless. And if you know anything about it, you really wouldn't even want to carry that in your pocket, but
Yeah.
that's a whole other discussion.
Well, there's everybody in the whole world is doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, nice little pump for the Pulsechain. PLS Pulse token. We got PulseX moving just a little bit more at 10.4%, coming in at 0.00216. Bring that ratio 1 to 1.16. Still pretty close together, which, I mean, I guess it's a good thing the more PLSX is 1-to-1 with PLS. That'd be a good thing, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I mean, they're two tokens and two separate things. So, yeah, I don't think they have to follow each other. But it's nice to see Hex over there at 7 cents for 7.3 cents for both of them.
Oh, yes.
The blue Hex. See the blue Hex? There.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. That's not. That's sub penny.
Right.
Oh, but together.
Oh, it's
1.3 together. 1.2.
It's 0.7. Is that
0.007.
of a dollar? I said of a penny. Yeah. So it's 0.7 of a penny.
But if you add them together, it's like
0.7 of a penny.
1.2 pennies. Oh no.
That's what the blue is.
Oh yeah, but 0.1. But 0.00584 plus 0.00731 is going to put you into a penny. No?
0.00584 plus 0.0015
Oh.
equals 0.00.
Oh, okay. The blue
731.
price is together.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Blue is together. That's
All
harmony.
right. Thanks, guys. Sparing us on that one.
That's
Yeah.
all right. Oh, it's nice to see. And that means we're real close to a penny for both.
Yeah, let's definitely get that back up to a penny. We got Ink Token, $1.25, which was $1 last time we were streaming, so that's up a quarter.
Nice.
Pretty good. It was a couple days ago. I mean, any of these, right? If you are a trader, you can obviously make money in these trades. It's swinging up and down all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But no financial advice here. Yeah.
Traders lose. That's the beautiful thing about Hex is you make a ladder and you stake it and you never have to touch that investment until it unstakes. And then you pull it out and then you cash it out. If it's up, you cash it out. If it's down, I tell people to cut it in half and restake 18 months out and 26 months out. And then that way you'll get 5 stakes coming out every 6 months over the next 2.5 years.
Okay.
Because there's no sense selling it if it's down, because it's down. Like, what's great about crypto is that it's X squared times Y squared thing. It's in the sweet spot is the size of the liquidity pool. And as soon as you get out of that sweet spot of the liquidity pool, it starts going up hyperbolic really fast. And that's the beautiful thing about crypto. This is what makes crypto is the trading mechanism is a hyperbolic curve that goes from the x-axis to the y-axis. And that curve, that right in the corner, is where all the liquidity is. And the bigger that liquidity pool, the longer you stay inside that sweet spot of that curve. If the liquidity pool is smaller, then you get outside of that curve and you start moving along the X or the Y axis. And that's when the price starts going crazy. And that's what makes crypto. And then
Crazy
once
prices.
the price is set, people could add liquidity after the price goes up. But the price is already there, or they can, manage the liquidity.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really interesting. There's all kinds of manipulation that can be done. It's all legal. It's all open market between two people who are on the internet and have a wallet, which is a browser window to the internet that only works with the Pulsechain, right? Or because it's an Ethereum virtual machine, it can also go across bridges and interact with Ethereum. So, but it's just individuals. And it's usually between two individuals making an agreement. And their agreement is handshaked with a key. And that key is your seed phrase. And no one else can, as long as you don't share that seed phrase, no one else can do it.
Right. This is the thing about crypto, removing the middleman. And I mean, you will, if I did want to send you some crypto, it is kind of, there is kind of a middleman fee in a way, because you got to pay the gas to send it.
Mm-hmm. For now. So maybe there's something in the future that hasn't been developed for Pulse that actually allows free transactions. Who knows? Like there might be some sort of advertising that covers the cost of the transaction fee. Like we don't know what's going to be developed.
That's an interesting thing you just said there, though.
Yeah, it's a blank slate. We don't know what's going to come. This is so new. This is what's important with Donald Trump, is that he's allowing this to be discovered, because we don't know what could be created with this.
Yeah, just that concept, though, of saying, hey, let's just you know, offset people's costs with this marketing money that you bring in from that marketing.
Right. We can get Pfizer to sponsor. But the thing is, like, it could be a social network. Let's say it was a Facebook or a Twitter that was created just on the Pulsechain, and it used gas and stuff like that. You could send messages and have posts, and people could reward and stuff. It's really a slow way to do it, but it's decentralized. That's the cool thing about it.
That's what we want in this world. We don't need to be so reliant on, you know, outside of our own networks. We should be creating networks that we, you know, in case things do get tough, that it doesn't have to be, because we have a great network.
Yeah. But we're part of the whole ecosystem, because there's Pulse, and then there's all the, you know, like Coin has Base, the Base network, and Ethereum. And what's cool is very soon, and we're starting to do something with it. It's ZK Sync, ZK, whatever the one is here. Yeah, click on close and go to ZK.
ZK.
Yeah.
Is this a coin?
Yeah. ZK, and then see ZK, ZX. Yeah, I don't think that's it, but there's a ZK Sync that's on Ethereum, and they're talking about being.
Oh, this is GoPulse, though. You want me to look on like Dexstream or something?
No, it. I don't know. I was thinking it might have been here already, but ZK Sync. Yeah, you can check on there too. ZK Sync.
And it says, you said it is here.
No, I would just type it in and let it come up.
ZK
Sync. There you go. And so they have it on.
What is that? It's like an infinity sign.
I don't know.
Versus.
Those look like they're different networks.
Yeah. 192 million. We got 1.4 liquidity here. This is probably the one. Right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But I mean, yeah. Click on it and see what happens.
A chart will appear.
Yes, and then
See here. So I mean, it looks down from launch.
but pretty flat. But then if you go over to the right column, way over to the right,
Okay.
and then I'll scroll down, scroll, and then go to the website and see. Or search on, no, not on Twitter, I guess. We'd be searching forever. But is there a website? No.
Yeah,
I thought they posted websites on there.
Sync swap. Maybe if I just click on that.
No,
No,
that's
that's not
the
it.
token.
Or this here.
That's,
Let me see.
I don't know, actually.
Let's take it back. Yeah, I don't see anything
Yeah, I don't
for
see
a
it either.
website created 9 months ago.
So anyway, there's supposed to be interchain. That's the whole reason we were looking at it. And
Oh, here we go.
there you go. Click on that and see what happens. The Elastic Network.
Yeah, so what's the deal with this?
Well, how about scroll down and see? Look at all they got Chainlink and Circle but you can name drop a lot. Definitely, when you go to these things, you can just put anything on a website you want.
Yeah.
But they're high performance. They're super fast. Let's read that right there. Chains can be.
See, a network of 20 plus ZK chains. ZK chains are high performance, variable, modular rollups, and validiums powered by ZK Sync.
Yeah, I think when they say there's 20 chains, I think that means they're on like Base, and they're on Ethereum, and they're on Arbitrum, and all the different, and Solana. But I don't think they're on Pulsechain, which is kind of interesting. But we have
Right.
something over there because
Maybe on
it says ZK something.
Lens chain down here, or treasure chain, or
I mean, that's all look like junk. How about scroll up just a touch?
let's see. Let's read the rest of it. You
Well,
know,
I'm gonna just a touch so we can see the name of the ones. No,
down
right there. Okay, keep going.
Yeah,
You
United
can read it.
in an elastic network. ZK chains can be added or expanded to handle increased transaction volume without affecting cost or hardware requirements for verification. So,
Well, these are all bullshit chains, if that's what these are.
who's even
'Cause
on these things?
I've never heard of these
No
chains.
communities.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pulse Chain community.
Yeah.
Best in the biz.
Okay, let's get out of here.
All right. Let's go back to
Cool. You want to look at Teddy?
we could, yeah. So for y'all who do not know out there, the Bear token, ticker BEAR, Bear, it was tied with the PDI situation, and Maria had a lot invested, and
I think it had lock liquidity too, or there was some sort of. She has a bunch left to dump.
well, here, look, we'll go look at Bear right now. We can show the people what happened here. So Bear had a real nice run up. A lot of people in this coin. I had big hopes for it too. It seemed like one of those coins that could maybe bring new, fresh eyes to Pulsechain. And boy, did it still do that. It just did it in a different way. It wasn't the way that I was wanting it. It's still bringing eyes because of what's happening, but it seems like it's a negative thing.
I don't think you could buy it now. Like, I mean, the price is so low, and Sami says buy when there's blood, down here. But when you have a known dumper that has more tokens in their wallet, then they're going to come back and dump again. And so if it goes up any, it's going to get dumped on. You know, I hate to say it, but there's just so many opportunities on Pulsechain that I would not recommend trying to wait this one out. You could definitely put in a $5 or $10 or something, you know, something that you would spend on a hamburger or something. But the more that price goes up, the more that person has an opportunity to come back and dump it back down. And so it's not worth spending your money on. That hamburger over in UpX will be 10,000 hamburgers. So like I wouldn't waste it over here. Go to UpX if we're looking at teddy bear. Mm-hmm. So this is like the worst chart that you could have. And
Well,
this, UpX is the best chart you could have.
I don't know what they had said. Something like it had thousands of X's.
Yeah.
And so it came down here. We had Maria get out.
But
Then you
it's
had a
also a
bunch of
straight up line.
other people too just kind of followed suit, right? Like normally they do.
Yeah.
And so now we're down here. So somebody, and they were like speculating that B Roots did it, but he says he didn't do it. But someone opened up a new teddy bear off of the Pump.Tires.
And that's called Teddy.
And it's called Teddy. And Teddy has been, you know, I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, God dang it. Why didn't I get it? Teddy's doing a run up. So they're saying, you know, people are taking their money out of Bear and bringing it over here to Teddy. So
put it on the 4 hour and see. Give us a couple more.
You can go 1 hour.
Go 1 hour, definitely.
Yeah. So I mean, it's going.
Nice.
We got all the major
steady.
influencers. Everybody's talking about this coin right now. Everybody's trying to pump it, but they all got in over here. So
it's a dangerous time too, because there's usually a downturn.
know that. Yeah, they say it's like, I don't know, 7 to 10 days.
And it looks like that's about now.
What are we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, if you can get in, you know, you can make that pop up, and then you get you some cash, and it comes back down. You leave you a little moon back for later.
The volume across the bottom, has been dropping. So it's like less and less people are buying it.
Yeah.
So it's dropping right now. I wouldn't buy it right now. I would wait until it comes back down, probably to 2 zeros and a 2.
But it's no new eyes. That's the problem. It's the same people in Pulsechain trying to find that pump.
There's lots of people in Pulsechain. And all the people that were in Atropa, like, I think this has legs that could do good and stuff. But I think it's going to follow a chart pattern of going up and coming back down.
Yeah.
Pulse is going to do awesome. All the coins on Pulse are going to do great. We're going to have to warn everybody about all the Atropa stuff, or whoever, any coin that has dumpers in it we need a dumper list, you know, of tokens to be careful about, and like P-Dye or Bear.
The MNC here, so I got 172,000 in liquidity, 1,000 holders. That's that billion supply that Pump.Tires does. Let's go check out Pump.Tires.
Look at the price. Go back.
Oh,
666. The price.
Here?
No, top.
Burm. Yeah.
Holy moly. Like,
What does that
that's a message.
What does that mean? Right on stream.
Exactly.
Maybe is that someone trying to tell us something?
It says, you know what that means?
Oh, if you could be in the studio.
So,
Yeah, let's see. I just wanted to come over here
Pump.Tires.
because we were talking about the
Hexalina.
Pump.Tires. Let's see this Hexalina coin. See if there's any other movement going here. We got a little refresh. Oh, look at that.
2 hours.
2
3.
yeah, this is this weird thing.
It's like every so often.
You know, it's like it'll be the same. It's like a bot or something. There'll be the same address. They'll buy, and then you see that 3 hours, 2 hour later, they sold like.
Oh, this is going to be a fun one to be on LPX. That is going to be interesting. If but I guess there's just not enough movement. But
Yeah, it's almost, I mean, a little bit more and get it on King of the Hill, which will bring it back to the front page here, and you can get here.
yeah,
So, and that gives you a little bit of some exposure. Yeah, you know who just talked? Wild SJ just mentioned Hexlena recently. Just drinking
Pump.Tires.
that watermelon juice.
Cool.
Yeah, it's that summertime, guys. Make sure you get the seeded watermelons. Okay, you don't want the seedless.
Do you blend the seeds with it?
Yeah, you can blend them. Yeah, I don't blend them all, but I take some out.
Right.
But yeah,
Cool.
yeah, you want that. You want all your things
that
to
a
have
Vitamix?
seeds.
Is that Vitamix?
Yeah, yeah, and you want to make sure you have a powerful blender. If you can, industry standard is Vitamix.
Yeah.
And
if you're gonna do it, get the one with the sound cover.
it is nice, you know.
Or
It's
make
true.
a sound cover.
Well, that's the thing is they want to charge you so much more to get that little sound cover. It's pretty wild, actually.
I mean, you sue them one time and maybe they'll start giving it to us for free.
Let's go see what these guys real quick. The big guys. Yeah, Ethereum still here, just under $1,600, and Bitcoin 83,486. So those guys, you know, this Bitcoin.
Okay, so what Trump wants to do. So Mark Moss had a show on this the other day, and he's a YouTuber, and he was saying that in the early 1900s or the 1800s or something like that, that China was collecting silver instead of gold. And then or maybe it was 1900s, middle 1900s, who knows? But go watch Mark Moss. And we decided to go to the gold standard. And so they picked the wrong coin. Because the thing is, once the standard's decided on, the second person in through the door gets a worse price than the first person in through the door. We know that about crypto. Okay. So what Trump wants to do, because we don't know if there's gold in Fort Knox. Like, is there gold in Fort Knox? I don't think so. I think there's like a picture of gold. and they have like...
Oh, shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if they're stealing money off of our unemployment checks, and they're stealing money off of the Social Security checks, and they're stealing money off of USAID, you don't think they've stolen all the gold? I mean, there's probably a Tesla tunnel going right to Fort Knox, and they've made it like took it out a long time ago.
Tunnels like those ones that they found, those FBI ones that were going into the those elementary schools.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's another.
That's a whole nother thing. Yeah. We're going to go down a rabbit hole there because I've heard of other tunnels in New York City.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I remember no one talks about this, but 9/11 World Trade Center, I thought that there was a Brinks truck with gold.
China's gold. Yeah, I heard about that.
On the exit ramp of the building.
Yeah, I think it was a thing like, hey, we want our gold, and it's like, okay, we're rounding it up, and then it's like, oh, did you see what happened? Yeah, we don't got that gold anymore.
You know, and for it to get out of the safe and into a truck and onto the ramp when the building came down 45 minutes later, like they loaded that gold fast. Like, I don't know if can you move gold that fast?
I think somebody got it out, act like it didn't come out, and says it's lost.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you were thinking it was going to come out, get it out the day before.
Well, that's why they do a big spectacle. They show you on TV all over, like look what happened.
But nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. Like you can try and figure this stuff out, but it's so convoluted that
Yeah.
everything is just
Oh, you were explaining the silver and gold thing.
okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Got it. We went off on track. Okay. So when China picked silver and we picked gold, then that put them behind. Okay. But also they were communists, they didn't really start going until Mao Zedong started, like with Nixon and Reagan and stuff like that. So anyway, China has been mining gold and buying gold, and like India's been buying gold and Russia's been buying gold. They've all been buying gold because they see the United States, like these guys are not dumb. They see that we're stealing money. They know what every phone call is recorded by the United States, Great Britain, France, Israel, Russia, and China, and probably a couple others. But every phone call, everybody knows that we're getting ripped off. If more than 3 people are ripping us off, and it's everybody in the government is ripping us off, they know it. They've been seeing it. They've been spying on it, and they've been going, these guys their dollar is going in the toilet because their government's ripping them off. So they've been buying gold. Well, if we don't have gold, then we're going to be the China of whatever year that was that they were in silver. And so Trump is saying, hey, let's make this be Bitcoin-backed currency. And so you would trade $1 for a certain amount of Bitcoin, and that would change in the open market and stuff like that. But the price of
Satoshis.
but the price of Bitcoin would be a lot higher if that was the case. And a lot of people, and you'd be buying tankerfuls of oil and stuff like that. So the idea is if we can make Bitcoin the standard, it's no one's intellectual property. That's what makes Bitcoin so cool, is that we don't know who invented it. It's everybody agrees on the standard and all that kind of stuff. It just works.
Yeah.
So, and it's portable and it's instant. It's internet money. Where gold, China could have all the gold in the world, and like if we can't see it, let us in there, or are you going to give us a bar for it? Or, there's got to be some reality to it, because you can't just say, oh, we have in Fort Knox.
That's what we did, though.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why everything's going away from it.
I remember, that's how I know it was. So the Federal Reserve Bank in New York, which they used to keep, or they still do, I guess, keep all the gold like 100, 200 feet below the surface.
Right.
And you used to be able to go to the bank and you could go down there and get a tour. Well, they don't let you go tour anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, why don't they let you go tour?
It's against the rules.
Is there no gold to look at anymore?
Yeah, it's just a COVID rule. We just haven't changed the rule.
I mean, you might be right about that. I don't remember when they did that. We would have to do a little research on when they stopped those tours down. But because it would be like, oh, you're Russia, I'm China. I'd be like, I would call the Federal Reserve and be like, oh, hey, yeah, this is China. I need you to move, 10 of my gold bars over to Russia. And then, they'll go downstairs, take 10 gold bars out of the China vault, move 10 over into the Russian vault.
Yeah. The thing about that is, like, today they can probably make gold out of like iron and butter or something like that. I don't know. They take two things and they put it together and they make gold. It's not like real gold, but
yeah.
You just lift it up. It feels like it's the same way. It looks the same stuff.
There's ways to see. And magnets are a good way to find some stuff out.
Okay, the first inch.
Well, if you do that, the first inch is gold, then yes, it'll be hard. But then you're going to get weight issues. So it has to be the same weight as gold.
Yeah, and then every time you transfer it, you're going to have to re-assay it, whatever it is, like when they put chemicals on there and check it out, make sure it's the right stuff. And
yeah.
Gold, it just doesn't work. It's not manageable.
It's heavy.
And also you get wrench attacked.
Wrench attacked?
Yeah. Hit on the head with a wrench.
Nah.
Say, give me your gold.
Yeah, okay.
And you can only carry so much.
Give me your gold.
That's tragic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So gold, I don't think works in the internet world. It's not fast. Robots can't handle it. Or maybe they can.
They can handle it in the warehouse,
But also everything digital can be faked. You know what they're saying now? It's that maybe digital voting machines might be able to be manipulated, and that actually the election results might have been different than what were reported.
no way.
Yeah. That's
No.
what they're saying. That's what they're saying. They're actually saying the laptop is real too. So,
There's a laptop?
yeah.
I heard that got just magically disappeared.
Yep. There's purple Bitcoin. That
Yeah.
is the gold on Pulsechain. There's 154,000 of them.
What are you going to do? Are you going to get one?
I
Or are
got
you gonna
one and a
let it
half.
slide by.
And I'm thinking about adding a little bit more.
You know,
But I would
Might
like
not
for it
hurt.
to drop in price a little.
yeah, I mean, it's holding strong here. You can see here now we've had many days now where it's staying in this channel, the 239, 177 channel here.
I want to see it drop to 80.
Yeah, wouldn't that be sweet? And then I'll tell you, I'll call you after I find out.
Right. That's the thing is, you see, when everybody wants it to drop to 80, then it has to go up in price.
Yeah.
But it's a cool story.
Yeah.
It came from the original Bitcoin that was bridged over to Ethereum. And then during the fork, we copied that. So it can't be turned back into Bitcoin. Like Ethereum's wrapped
Right.
Bitcoin can be turned back in. And we do have that. We have,
Yeah.
I think that would be like a yellow Bitcoin or something
I think,
like that. It's just WBTC. So it's EBTC.
yeah, this one here.
Right. And that one, if you bought that, you could bridge it back over to Ethereum, then unwrap it and have Bitcoin.
Not in Ethereum though.
Yeah. No, you would take that coin over to the Ethereum, and then there's an interface on Ethereum that says unwrap.
And then, but it's still
And
BTC.
actually, I'm not sure if you can still do that because that was a certain company, and I'm not sure if they're around anymore. And if the website's still up. But that was the idea, is that it could be converted back into Bitcoin or Ethereum. But it's a standard. I bet there's still unwrapper type thing. But look at that. The volume down there at the bottom.
It's pumping up there, huh?
Lots of volume. I mean, that's what's it's got to be able to be unwrapped, or else it doesn't really have any value. See, that's $82,000.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's got to be able
But I'm
to be
wondering,
unwrapped.
so you take it to Ethereum, unwrap it, and then
It shows up in your Bitcoin wallet.
how does that work? Because Bitcoin works on a different blockchain.
Yeah. So,
They got to have some interface, like you're saying, where that if they switch that Ethereum Bitcoin and move it into the
yeah,
BTC chain. Something.
they figured it out.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
you put
above
in
my pay grade.
You put in a Bitcoin wallet address, I guess,
Okay.
and then you put in your wrapped Bitcoin, and then
Interesting.
hit unwrap.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to go by the.
Let's look at gas.
You want to see the gas? Real
Yeah,
quick?
that's like the most thing I visit on this website. It's not too busy right now.
That's what it's saying. Until you go and try and do something, it's like then this doesn't even make sense to it.
Well, it does say 0 times cheaper than Ethereum.
Well, yeah, zero. What's going on? Ethereum's not. Maybe it's not calculating something properly.
But
things are moving.
Yep.
Chain is moving. Where I wanted to go just by the bubbles and
validators,
see
bubbles.
Yeah, there they go.
Yeah.
I just want to see what the big movers are today. We got 23%
Maxi,
Tetra.
Icosa
up 16%.
And something over in the corner.
Got up 9.8.
Jeff token.
Which corner?
The very bottom right. P ample. And that one too, right there. You just went over.
And we have 14. This one?
Yeah, what is that?
That is TSFI, T-Share Finance.
T-Share Finance.
Looks like they've been around.
Oh, it's on a Tropa. Interesting. So it's going to go up and down a lot, but this might have a dumper involved with it. So anything that's on a Tropa, you got to be careful.
Got to be weary of.
Up and Up X are doing good.
Yeah, we got a lot of similar size.
Yep. Fame.
I mean, really, when we're looking at it, there's a lot of green bubbles here.
Yep. Maxi, it's nice to see. That's a hex derivative.
What's this? PLSB?
Pulse Bitcoin. That was Pulse Hex Lion.
Okay.
And
which I think is just Lion now, I think. Right?
Yeah. It wasn't his token, but he was big into it, I remember.
Well.
And it had miners. So you could mine your Bitcoin and stuff. I never got into it, but it was an interesting play that came out a long time ago.
Look at this here.
Loan tokens up there. All those loan people are rich now.
Where do you see that at?
About 11 o'clock. Left. Yeah, right there. Right down. Right there.
Loan. But I thought they have another one, though. It's like 2 tokens, isn't it?
No. Ooh.
Yeah. It's down here, though, still.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
But it's on its way up. So, yeah, it started off the first day really good.
I don't know what happened there.
Oh, the first week.
Yeah. Doesn't like to read this.
No, you can't. The first week kills it.
Yeah. Yeah, it hurts.
So can you slide it just past leave the first week out? There you go. Right there. Okay.
That's the weekly.
So it looks like to get back home, it needs 4 zeros and a 1. And it's at how many zeros?
6.
So it needs to go 100x just to get back to starting at.
Right there, yeah. Let's see here, this UpX.
Whoa, what coin is this?
There goes the UpX. It's our
This
charting
is
from
incredible.
last time. It popped up out of there, but then came back down. But it still wanted to stay in this channel.
Yeah. Pull the channel and drag it. No, you got to do the middle. I think, yeah, right there, and drag it to the right. Yeah, now it's caught up. And then on the left-hand side, drag it on the left-hand. Left. Yeah. Drag that to the first green candle. Where it's got, right there. Cool. So.
Yeah, it came
Pretty
up.
much follows in that. Yeah, it did, but it was getting that way over. So I think
I mean, if
maybe LPX was supposed to launch last week or so.
Oh,
and then it didn't launch, and so it didn't have the enthusiasm or something. Maybe it was sell the news, but It hasn't launched, so it's really not news yet. But
Well, if you're looking at this, okay, and we can tell from September, this thing has been staying in there, right? So if we see this price come down here, we can assume that if you buy, it's going to come back up here into this channel up here somewhere, right? So if this ends up coming down below,
it will never go down that low.
well, no, look right here. I just mean below the channel. You see here, it
Right,
came out of
it
the
can't
channel.
go below the channel.
You don't think it's going to go below now?
Can't. Yeah.
But it did right here,
It
here,
did,
and here,
yeah,
and all
that's-
those places.
Okay. One reason it did, it could, of course. You never know. Like,
Well, I'm saying if it does,
they
you
saw
can assume.
Elvis last week. So.
Well, you could assume though that's that good buy price then, and could probably
Right.
make a quick trade. So,
But there's also this LPX thing. It has $9,000 it's collected so far in DAI. So let's say you go back to the middle of that channel, no, in time wise, like right there. Yeah. At that point, it probably had about 4,000 in buy pressure. So it may be less. So it's been building. Actually, a lot less because you can see across the bottom. It probably had like 3,000. And now it has 9,000 in DAI ready to buy. It will let the price go down, actually. If people want to sell, it will let you sell all the way down and it will buy it back. See, that's the thing. Is it once it gets past like this no trade zone, then it will start buying back. And as it goes above the trade zone, it sells. So it's losing money, it looks like. But the thing is, it ends because it's not doing it in the middle, it's making money. And it's just, it's math. But so far, it's in that period, it's made $9,000. Plus, it's stacked more UpX.
nice.
So I'm not sure how much more UpX, but maybe like $9,000 worth of UpX. So on both sides, it's increased by 9. It might be more. I don't know. It might be less too.
Are we still waiting to hear on the Fed about these rates coming down, or what's going on with that? Have you heard anything?
Well, they're pumping money into the market.
Oh, what? Speaking of pumping money, it says the U.S. inflation is down to 2.4% lower than expected. You know what that means. And look at these guys printing money here, man. Look at this.
And they put fiber in it.
Yeah, well, no, that's a company, the paper that they use on plastic.
Right.
So to get that paper is really difficult to do. It's one of the telltale signs of a chemical. It doesn't have the blue fibers inside of the paper. Look at that, man. Look at it.
Oh,
And the thing is, look, it just clips them with the little yellow bands. 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. Right here, it's coming up. I see it. Right there, look, right there, 10,000 a pack. Look at this stuff. See these people? They're literally just grabbing like 100K, 200,000K packs, right? And that starts to mentally do something with you. I guarantee you those guys don't make very good money, right?
You think they get to take some home?
No. You know, the thing, this is
I don't know. Before all this stuff started coming out, I would think not. But now I'm thinking they're letting these guys take a pack home or something every so often. It's like all the scams that have been released. They're saying AOC hired this illegal immigrant who's undocumented. I don't know. It's just like crazy shit.
I kind of had this joke that's not really a joke, but if I was like a Federal Reserve Board member, I would always just pay cash, and I would just have fresh 20s on me all the time, right? And so if I went to the store and so it was like they're like, oh, all right, sir, it'll be $12.37. I just give them a 20 and leave. I don't even worry about the change because I just got a fresh 20 to back it up.
Yeah. You get a pack every month.
And so you don't even get the change.
Yeah, I don't
anywhere.
think they're taking the 100 packs, but the 20 packs.
Well, look at that though. That's got to be. I mean, we're talking 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. These are probably like 500K packs or something. Who knows?
Well, it says 140K right there.
Well, yeah. This was kind of cool. This was a sound activated fans with integrated lights responding to nature's symphony. So these lights are responding to, all the animal sounds that are going on around it.
Wow.
And so it makes this kind of cool. Look at these designs.
Apple Tunes used to do that kind of thing back when it first launched.
It kind of reminds me of like Predator or something.
They're saying Apple's like really falling behind because of AI.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Are we going to see a shift? There was, what was it? Where was I going to go with that?
A shift?
Yeah. Oh, where you see these graphs, these charts of all the companies that are emerging, and it's showing you, it's a timeline, starting back from like the 50s and then going and you see the different companies that start leading and drop other ones out and stuff, and where Apple had come in and has been like a big player. Maybe on this graph, we're going to start seeing new players outdo the other big players that have been out there for the past 20, 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be some huge mergers going down. There's going to be companies going out of business like crazy. That reminds me of a friend of mine that's here in town, and I went to his house on a Sunday, and he had all kinds of music memorabilia. And he had the rock and roll book of, let's see if we can find this thing. We use Grok for that. Rock and roll book. What is it called when your family lineage?
Rock and roll book of family lineage. I have no
Rock
idea.
and roll.
What is that?
Book of lineage. How do you spell that? Lineage.
AI isn't correcting it for you?
It did correct it. I think it was Apple that did that. It's called the Rock and Roll Book of the Dead. The Fatal Journeys of Rock 7 and more. No, that's something different. Okay. But what this does is it showed like the Beatles and then who was related to the Beatles. And then they left and started, maybe it wasn't a musician. It was a record producer or something like that. And they went and started somebody else. And then they started, I think it was more American though. So it was like the Byrds went to Neil Young to like this whole, you could follow the trail of the different bands that came across in the 60s and 70s from the people and the bands that they left. It created a family lineage. It was really cool.
Interesting.
But it's going to be kind of like these companies going out of business because there's going to be a bunch of companies going out of business.
Yeah.
Especially, I think, GM. And
There's going to be a lot of people going out of business.
yeah.
Got to bring it on home. Yeah. Little outro music. Go ahead and shut it down. I think that's another episode of One Pulse.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. You have any closing words there, Larry?
No, we're at the bottom, definitely. I think we're going up soon.
On the way up.
They're printing the money. We have pro crypto president, and it's the legislation's getting put in. They're uncovering JFK stuff. They got so much on their plate right now that it's just, they've got different people working different things, but it's like there's a lot going down. And but crypto is something they want to pump. I think they want to go to a crypto reserve, and they want America to be first invested in this so that everybody else is FOMO buying, and they're buying our bags. And I think they've been suppressing the price of Ethereum to let people buy it, and they're buying it off over the counter.
Over the counter?
Yeah, they're not using markets. Yeah, they're cheating.
All right.
We're gonna be rich, boys and girls.
And the ladies. We never forget the ladies. We love the ladies. Special shout out to all the crypto ladies out there and future crypto ladies.
Yeah, definitely. And we got some good ones here at Pulse.
We do. Thank you to everybody on the chain, to the haters, to the lovers, and all the in-betweeners.
Yep.
Stay one pulse ahead. We'll see y'all next time.
Good night.
How big is your sack on Pulsechain? How big is your sack? Heavy sack, heavy sack. How big is your sack on Pulsechain? How big is your sack? Heavy sack, heavy sack. I was looking for a chain, something new, decentralized, either new. Stacking PLS6, liquidity on the decks. Somebody help me. My sack is so heavy. Get some Spark Swap, get the Dex Vaults, get the GOAT token, Legion Protocol, get some P-Dye, get some P-Drip, get some Teddy Bear, get some P-Hex. You know we here for the 100X. Put your heart always with the Gucci bags. I asked you once, I asked you twice. How big is your sack on Pulsechain? How big is your sack? Heavy sack, heavy sack. How big is your sack on Pulsechain? How big is your sack? Heavy sack, heavy sack. It's both a blessing and a curse, having a sack this big.
My sack
Pulsechain.com. Awesome. It's got higher throughput. It's deflationary. It burns 25% or more of the fees. There's no inflation. It never mints new coins.
How big is your sack?
It's going to be the world's largest free airdrop. So people love free money.
How big is your sack?
And they don't like the high fees. And this addresses all those issues. It's really cool.
How big is your sack?
Could Pulse do the same 10,000x that Hex did?